Hello everybody, and thank you very much for joining me. Happy Valentine's Day everyone, happy vegan Valentine's Day. And I just want to kind of share with you the love that I have for myself and for all of you. Yeah. So it is excellent to be able to share this wonderful video all the way from air. Yes, I'm in air. In other words, I'm actually off the air, I'm in the air, and I'm spiritually connecting with you all anyway. And it's wonderful to really signify this, symbolise it, by actually being in a place called air on this physical realm, on the planet Earth, in a place in Scotland. Yeah. This is my hometown of Ayr. I find it so interesting that it's called Ayr, and I've written about this. This is when you're going to hear me speaking really fast-paced, very, very intellectually, and of course bringing all the spiritual awareness into this video too, because of the aqua content, because we're in a place called Ayr. Both of my parents, my hometown, my upbringing is a very Aquarius upbringing, and a very spiritual one, and so, with particularly Aquarius, so because I do have an Aquarius South Node. Alright, so there's a real strong basis there for this Aquarius vibe, and we are in the Aquarius month, of course. So this love that we have to remember, and I think that this is a main, important, essential ingredient for a day like today, is that our love that we have for ourselves inside, from a spiritual, an ethereal, to a heart-based love, and how that impacts us really down to the ground, or here we are on earthly realm, on this earthly realm, goes right back up and out again into the planet, as most of us will know. It's not just New Agey, it's not just the Aquarian thing, it's not just the Piscean thing, it's not just... This is all with astrology, all the star signs together. This is everybody on planet Earth. This is very, very Taurian, just as much as it is any other sign. Capricorn-y, everything. It's all of the astrology, it's all of us together. And it is the importance of that here on this earthly realm. However, the importance and the discussion that we have being this kind of Aquarius, particularly Aquarius time that we're in right now, is so essential, because it's just reminding us that everything that we feel inside has an impact on the outside, which is very scientific true, as well as spiritual. Okay. So we can understand it from a spiritual sense, but we can talk about it as well on this very scientific level too here in this Aquarius time, which is also very scientific. Okay, but it is so important that we go from not just what we've created by default and also on purpose in terms of what we already know. Okay, the very scientific aspects of it. It is important to transcend that as well and understand spiritually how what we consume spiritually impacts us. Remember that, how it impacts us, and then how it impacts the wider world. So nurture the love that you already are, nurture yourself from within, be thankful for your spiritual side, because that is the one aspect that remains a constant with all of us eternally. And without that appreciation, without that love, you can be flitting through, because that's what Aquarius can do too. You can be flitting, connecting, disconnecting, not really having a grounding to really appreciate. But if you have that appreciation for self, then that's when the Aquarian vibe can become very, very powerful, because then you know that what you are feeling from your inside and what you already have, even though you can disconnect, connect, and disconnect, connect different things, you have this one essence that you know is so powerful that it can go create magical, amazing situations just from that vibe. Okay, and that is when the Aquarian vibe becomes very, very powerful, as I said. And the importance of this in a day like today, because as vegans, what we are doing is we've had a vision. We co-created with it, we co-created in it, we are the vegan, and we are in this area of love. But when we look back to what others are doing it out with that maybe have co-created over years. Maybe some of us not even have been co-creating with it, but it's been co-created by humanity and by the earth for a long time. There's still a momentum that comes into life that we can see outside of ourselves, or that we see on the internet, because that's another thing about Aquarius time, is that it is very scientific. We now have the internet, everything's in the air. Even if it's not in the air, what we're seeing, we can still feel it. Okay, we can still feel the vibration of it, and that has an impact too. We need to take the duality of what is possible in terms of what we envision and how we got here in the first place to be so amazingly, lovingly vegan to this level, and also what is happening out with in so many other frequency levels. We need to be able to take the two and work with the vision more to turn and move the movement further forward. And that can only be done through having that self-love and continuing that onwards. Yes, the contrast is needed. Yes, it's required to be able to have the tension, have the movement, and to keep your focus forward. But it is important, because you have nothing without the vision. Without the vision, we have nothing. The vision is essential. That Piscean vision to be able to take things forward from your spiritual essence is so important. And that involves compassion, not only for yourself, but how you're witnessing, how you're bearing witness, as well as to how you're feeling spiritually. Compassion for yourself, compassion for the situation, compassion for others, because we are all sentient beings working on different frequency levels. As we know, these are all obvious, but when you're close up in a situation, that's when it's like, and that is, again, another positive impact of the Aquarius vibe, is that you can come out of the situation and see it from all levels of vibrations. Okay? And even further than that, if you go into your Pisces 12th house, you can see it all spiritually. That is all part of the duality again, because then you come back down to earth and it's like, So it's always having that importance, always being as close as you can connected to the spirit, to the spiritual realm. And how that really kind of helps you to kind of like clear your focus and be able to envision further into something even more successful. So here we go, that is set. As I say, there's all this creation by default, and we're talking about the physical and the spiritual. But some people today will be very, very aware of the physical and what is actually being created by default, or what is actually not happening at all. And that is really, really important on a day like today, I think. As well, when I was joking about the no marriage, don't get married unless it's a very, very soulful, spiritual union, in which case, go for it. And of course, you don't need a piece of paper to do that. And that is one thing about the Aquarius vibe that will really come through. It actually filters through from the spiritual, obviously, from the Piscean 12th house down to the 11th house. And this will be circulating in the earth now. I'm so pleased. So, it is excellent, so important. It is, you can have all the things you've created by default and have plenty of them surrounding you, different things. You could have someone proposing to you, you could have a marriage proposal, you could be married, etc, etc, etc. And none of those will really make you happy unless it is actually something that you're feeling from a spiritual vibe. And if you're feeling it from a spiritual vibe, it's probably quite highly unlikely that you're going to be needing all the extra things. It'll just be so quick and fast paced a connection that it'll just kind of work, and you won't be kind of as focused on the material aspects of it. So that is so important, and that is when you're going to be most happiest, okay? Because that is like you vibing at your like original state of frequency, which is the spiritual frequency. So I would encourage you to keep it as simple as possible today.